So I'm watching Collider, and I was looking for basically a review or whatever, an opinion. I was in the car with my friend and I heard it, so I thought I'd watch it again. And he says, and I think by splashing in some of the similar beats of the original, I think that helped. Okay, yeah. And I think by splashing in some of the similar beats of the original, I think that helped. I actually think that that was something they needed to do to achieve the results that they did. Sorry, I was having trouble reading it. But so the thing is that Star Wars Episode 7 is like Episode 4. And I'll show you. I did not like this whatsoever. It was a great movie, but when you're waiting 3 years for a movie, I mean, I didn't pay $10.20 to see Episode 4 again. I wanted to see something different. So we have the StarKiller base, which is Death Star. They blatantly mention this in the movie. We have the BB-8, R2-D2. They are both utilized the same way. We have the Cantina. We have Mos Kanata, which is Yoda. Now, Yoda is the greatest piece of art you could ever have in a Star Wars movie. And he can never be, he can't ever be replaceable. Beautiful piece of art he is. And I heard Mos Kanata, she was talking to Rey and says, I'm not a Jedi, but I know the Force. And I knew at that moment we were trying to replicate another Yoda because we need some other green wrinkly thing in a Star Wars movie. That was ridiculous and such a disgrace because we are not here to see something a little bit more original. This is the problem with Korra. We had Avatar: The Last Airbender and we had The Legend of Korra, and the creators took some of the elements of Avatar: The Last Airbender and put them in Korra, and they tried to replicate the same thing. That doesn't work. We liked the show because it was original in the first place. And it's... Anyway, I'll continue. We have Looking for the Droids in Episode 4. Would they obviously do the same thing again with BB-8. And then we have Han Solo owning money again. And those are all the things. And it just... Those... Star Wars was great because it was something new. It was a masterpiece. It was a work of art, a piece of genius, okay, by George Lucas. And I'm talking about the prequels because I know some of you are going to bash me if I say this about the... I'm sorry, I'm talking about the originals. My bad. I'm talking about the originals because I know some of you guys are going to bash me if I say this about the prequels. But it was a piece of genius, and replicating that and trying to copy that is not okay. That's not what's going to make us love this movie. We have so I'll let go of all the copycats, the callbacks, or whatever the hell you want to call them in the movie, and I'm going to go to the problems. So we have the StarKiller base unutilized, and that was just one. Then we have the didn't feel much impact when people died. You didn't really care because they didn't know them, which is really horrible. And the StarKiller base, the worst problem ever, the StarKiller base was easy to destroy. I would not have had a problem with the StarKiller base had they kept it in the second and maybe the third movie and then got rid of it in the third. I had a problem with it because they destroyed it, and it was the same thing they did in Episode 4. They destroyed the Death Star. It was the same thing they did in Episode 4. That's why I had a problem with it. I had no problem with the StarKiller base, except it was like, okay, it's here, now we're going to destroy it because that's what they did in Episode 4. That's not, like, if they had utilized it more, it would have been a whole lot better. So, one of the great things about the movie was killing off a main character. And I did not want Han Solo to die. I was actually really hoping that he would kill off Chewbacca, giving giving a reference, whatever, to the Thrawn trilogy, because that's what that guy, whoever wrote the books, did. I didn't read the books, but I heard that Chewbacca died, so I was really, really hoping that he would do that. But I'm very glad that he killed off a main character. I enjoyed that. And I was going to reference that with Obi-Wan, and the same as Episode 4. But I really don't have a problem with it too much, because like I said, I was wanting him to kill off a main character. It's not like I wanted somebody to die, but I was looking at how this was made. So I did enjoy that. And a great thing in here is, like, it's one of my favorite scenes when Kylo Ren, he uses the Force, and you see this laser being like frozen in midair. And that, I have to say, is the feeling, the power of the Force, that element from the prequels that we got. See, every time you got in the original movie, like 4, 5, and 6, they always seemed very slow with the lightsaber fights. The Force didn't seem as very powerful. But when we got the prequels, it did. It was a lot more powerful. You could just, I don't know, like every time I look at a Star Wars wiki page, I've said this before many times, a Star Wars like wiki page of someone who has great power in the Force, I always think of the prequel movies for some reason. Doesn't matter if it's after Episode 7 or, after Episode 6, or in the Old Republic, which I like reading about the Old Republic most of all, because I feel that power, that the Jedis and the Sith have in the Force is very beautiful. It's so beautiful. So we have the Rey using the dark side. Now, I don't know if you got this, but when Kylo Ren was trying to, he was besting Rey. He had the upper hand, and when she's there at that cliff, and he says, "Oh, you don't really know the power of the Force. You need someone to teach you. Let me do that for you." And she says, "The Force," and she gets quiet, and you can like say that, oh, she was just using the Force, but no, you felt that rage and her anger, and I just enjoyed that. That was so beautiful. That was great. I love that. And then we had a natural lightsaber fight. Now, as sexy as Episode 3 was with the lightsaber fight, this was good. It was just natural. It felt like they were actually just angry at each other and like really willing to kill each other. And I felt that was just, it was very beautiful. Things I was hoping for. So this is one of the things that I just really wanted to see when I was watching them destroy the StarKiller base, was Wedge Antilles. I don't believe he died in Episode 6, but I was hoping he would come back. I also wanted to see I can't remember his name. I do apologize, but the black guy in Cloud City. I also want to see him. The green lightsaber. Okay, so at the end when you have Rey and she's handing Luke that lightsaber, I really, really wanted Luke to take out his lightsaber and it be that green lightsaber. Because I don't know if you know this, but I'm not sure how Mos Kanata found the lightsaber. You should remember, Star Wars fans, that hit the lightsaber, Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber that Luke had, fell in Cloud City when Darth Vader chopped his son's arm off. It was holding the lightsaber, and it fell down. So, when you have Episode 6, he has a green lightsaber, and he built it himself. It's so I've heard. So, and that's why he has a green lightsaber. And, you know, you can argue the contrast or whatever, which was the first decision. But anyway, he had to get a new lightsaber. And so he had a green one. So I was really hoping that when Rey handed him the blue lightsaber, that he would just take out his green lightsaber and, like, turn it on or something like that. That would have been beautiful, beautiful. A Force Ghost. I would love to see Yoda again, or maybe Obi-Wan. I hear we're going to see Anakin again in Episode 8. I'm very excited about that. I had no problem with Hayden Christensen, but I know a lot of people did. So I'm excited about that. But a Force Ghost. I really would enjoy seeing a Force Ghost. That would be very fantastic in one of these films, and I really hope they're going to do something like that. So, that's basically my thing with the movie. I thought the movie was great. I was expecting it to go in a different direction. And when I was watching the Collider video and I heard this, I thought, what bullcrap. I think you can make a great movie without having to make it like something else. If that like I'm at a loss for words, but you don't have to copy stuff from one movie to make it great because that one movie was great and it has to be in this film to make this film great. That's not how it works. But I'm very glad I saw this movie. I did like it. So there were a few other things, and I know you guys are probably going to kill me for this. But like I said, a Star Wars film is a masterpiece. It's a work of art. And I have problems saying that this film is fully Star Wars, if that makes sense. I can say it's Star Wars because it's a continuation, but I cannot honestly say it is fully Star Wars. I don't feel that masterpiece and that art when I see Episode 7. I don't. I like the film. I think Star Wars is a sexy piece of art. I do not think Episode 7 has that level that the originals do. Or even, I mean, you guys are going to hate me again, but I think the prequels are more Star Wars than Episode 7 is. So, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. And that is just my opinion of Episode 7. However, like I said, I did enjoy the film.